From here, what we're going to do is we're going to start by processing the core and cavity blocks. But to make my life easier, I'm going to ask the software to turn off all the components. I'm going to look at this from the side, and I'm going to control select what I don't want to see anymore. And I don't want to see any of these objects, so I'm going to right click and choose hide. It's just a way to set up your visualizations. From here, I'm going to go ahead to cavity process, and I'm going to choose the blocks to process. And as soon as I do, you can see that the software is already cutting the pockets for them. And I'm even putting in different radiuses on the blocks versus the pockets. Perfect. From here, I want to do another thing. I'm going to start by hiding this, why not, and this. Because I've decided we're going to cut this in solid. In order to cut this in solid and unite that core and cavity block to this, what I need to do is tell the software I want to use it this way. So to do that, I'm going to go to my assembly tab here, and I'm going to create something that we call an assembly neighborhood. An assembly neighborhood is simple to understand. It's basically saying I want to be able to apply operations to this part, the part occurrence you select here, with this part or these parts. It is allowing a parametric link between them in a bottom-up assembly structure. Cool, that's it. Now in order to actually do this, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to right-click on this part and do an in-place edit. Now in TopSolid we manage things a little bit differently. Okay, we have the ability to roll back in time at various levels of synchronization. So when I'm in an in-place edit, I have this button up here. I can call it end inserting. The very first thing that I want to do now is this. I want to go shape, unite. So I'll go to my Boolean shape, and I want to unite to it this block, and I'll green check mark it. That's it. The union is done. Okay. I can even go to my neighborhoods here and turn it off, and you can see, if I turn off the rest of the assembly context, you can see that that is now in solid in my A plate. Let's have another look at that. But before we do, we have one more step to do. Right now, that cavity block is still present. If I was to hide this, you'll see the cavity is still present in my assembly. If I look at it down here in my entities tree, if I go select it here, that's my cavity block. It's still in my entities tree, which means it will still be in my bill of material. So to remove it from the bill of material, there's one last step. You go to the assembly dropdown right here, and you choose remove. And you can choose the cavity block to remove. And like that, it's historically still there, but it's out of the assembly structure now. And now you have the ability to do exactly what you want. So let's do that one more time. I'm going to hide this. You know what? We don't need those either. I'm going to hide those. And I'm going to bring back my core block. So I'll bring back my B plate. And let's go find our core block. And we're going to do basically the same thing. Okay? So I'm going to start by going to my assembly tab. Assembly neighborhood. I'm going to say I want to build a neighborhood between this and this. Perfect. I'm going to right click on it, do an in-place edit. I'm going to turn off the assembly context, and I'm going to end inserting. And then I'm just going to do a simple union. So I'll go to Boolean, unite that block, validate. From here, if I go to my entities tree in this in-place edit, I can turn off the function and the neighborhood. And again, you can see that we're now in solid. Perfect. Last step, I'm going to go to my assembly tab back here in the mold design file, go to removing, and make sure that I remove that core block. And like that, we're ready to go to the next step, which is maybe to add ejector pins. So we'll do that in the next video.